This page is the vibrant front cover of Saturn Fan Magazine, showcasing a large, bold logo for the publication. The cover features two smiling anime girls in distinct school uniforms, one in a traditional sailor fuku with long red hair and a yellow bow, and the other with short blue hair and a sporty gym uniform. They appear to be characters from the popular dating simulation series Tokimeki Memorial, which is highlighted as the lead feature on this issue, promising extensive coverage. The cover also lists several other prominent games and topics covered inside, reflecting the diverse library of the Sega Saturn. Featured titles include fighting games like Street Fighter Alpha 2, Fighting Vipers, Virtua Fighter Kids, and Real Bout Fatal Fury. Action and adventure are represented by Virtua Cop 2 and Nights into Dreams. RPG fans are treated to mentions of a dedicated RPG collection section featuring Langrisser, Lunar, Silver Star Story, and Albert Odyssey 2. Gaiden. Other titles mentioned span various genres, including Sakura Wars, Saturn Bomberman, Decathlete, Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story, and more niche titles like Tante Jinguji Sabaru and Sword and Sorcery. There's also a feature on new hardware peripherals and a modem report. The issue details are clearly displayed, identifying it as the August 2, 1996 edition, Number 16. This cover effectively captures the breadth of games available on the Saturn during this period, with a strong focus on popular Japanese titles. The next page is a vibrant two-page advertisement for Sega Saturn sports games. On the left, the focus is on Greatest 996, a baseball simulation. A woman in a baseball uniform holds a tray of game boxes, with the game title prominently displayed alongside screenshots showing gameplay on the field and menu screens. The text highlights the game's features. The right page promotes Decathlete, the track and field game mentioned on the previous cover. A woman in athletic gear poses with a javelin, while the Decathlete logo is shown with screenshots of various events like sprints and hurdles. Text describes the game's competitive multi-event action. This spread serves as a strong visual promotion for two popular Sega Saturn sports titles, emphasizing the fun and competitive nature of each game. The page also notes that the Sega Saturn console has sold 3 million units domestically in Japan. This page is a vibrant two-page spread dedicated to the release of Saturn Bomberman. The left side features striking artwork of Bomberman alongside imposing villains, with the game's title prominently displayed in Japanese. The text emphasizes the master game aspect and highlights the game's release date and price. The core focus of this spread, especially on the right page, is the unique ranking mode. This mode challenges players across multiple floors, where they must defeat enemies and clear stages. The game then evaluates your performance based on factors like score, clear time, items collected, and enemies defeated to determine your rank, ranging from beginner to master. It's framed as the ultimate test to prove yourself as the best Bomberman player. Screenshots show the classic grid-based Bomberman gameplay. The page also introduces 5 masters, who stand in your way in the Bomber 20 rooms, each with unique appearances and abilities, such as Bomber Dagon and Bomber God. There are also details about a present campaign offering exclusive goods, and mentions of the game being featured at the Tokyo Game Show. Overall, this page is a strong promotional push for Saturn Bomberman, emphasizing its challenging single-player mode and the excitement of proving your skill. This page features an atmospheric look at the latest game in the Detective Jinguji Saburo series on the left, with a moody image and descriptive text setting the scene for the mystery. It highlights that this is the 5th installment in the popular detective adventure franchise from Data East. The right side is the magazine's table of contents, packed with features and guides for Sega Saturn fans. The main highlight is an extensive 24-page feature on Tokimeki Memorial Forever With You, including strategy and interviews. There are dedicated sections covering popular Sega titles like Fighting Vipers, Nights into Dreams, Virtua Fighter Kids, Virtua Cop 2, and Sakura Wars, as well as RPGs such as Albert Odyssey Gaiden, Langrisser 2i, and Lunar, Silver Star Story. The contents also list strategy guides for several games, including Saturn Bomberman and Puzzle Bobble 2, reports on new releases, and extensive data sections covering rankings, game information, and reader features, offering a comprehensive look at the Saturn gaming scene at the time. This page presents a large feature dedicated to the Sega Saturn release of the popular dating simulation game Tokimeki Memorial Forever With You. The left side features a prominent illustration of 3 main characters from the game. The right side details the extensive 24-page coverage within this magazine issue. It includes in-depth articles such as direct interviews with the development staff comparing the PC and Saturn versions, discussions about a potential sequel, a developer roundtable, and even a call for ideas for future games. A multi-part strategy guide is also outlined, covering fundamental gameplay mechanics, character progression, significant high school events, dating strategies, and uncovering hidden events. The page also provides essential game data, like the release date, genre, and publisher, along with several screenshots highlighting various scenes from the game. This special feature celebrates the arrival of Tokimeki Memorial on the Saturn platform. This page dives deep into the development of Tokimeki Memorial for the Sega Saturn, with a direct interview featuring key staff members from Konami Computer Entertainment Tokyo. You get insights from the scenario director, Koji Igarashi, IGA, and character designer, Masashi Ogura, among others like Metal Yuki. They discuss the game's core concept of a refreshing love story, and the meticulous process behind creating distinct character personalities, even down to the specific personal pronoun, watashi, used by the heroines like Shiori Fujisaki. Ogura humorously reveals he was the first one broken by the game, highlighting the intensity of development. The interview touches on designing memorable events, crafting character details, and implementing features like the crucial confession system introduced in this version. The page features profile photos of the developers, a large illustration of a heroine, and smaller scene illustrations, giving you a personal look at the creators behind this classic dating simulation. This page continues the in-depth look at the development of Tokimeki Memorial for the Sega Saturn, shifting focus to the audio and programming aspects. Metal Yuki, the sound director, discusses the goal of creating an instantly memorable opening melody, and the extensive work involved in composing distinct background music for each heroine and numerous event scenes. He highlights the effort put into the overall sound design, including ambient sounds like birds and classroom chatter, and compares the audio quality to other versions, noting influences from his work on games like Castlevania. The interview then features Hidetomo Inabiba, the main programmer, who explains his primary objective was to preserve the game's playability on the Saturn. He touches upon optimizing the game's performance, particularly data loading times, and discusses how the Saturn version efficiently fits onto a single disc compared to multi-disc releases on other platforms. The page includes profile photos of Metal Yuki and Hidetomo Inaba, along with character illustrations and small gameplay screenshots, providing a glimpse into the game's visuals and various scenes. This page continues the extensive feature on the Sega Saturn version of Tokimeki Memorial, highlighting interviews with the development staff, including producer Mitsuyoshi Shimamoto and programmer IGA, alongside returning staff from the previous page. They discuss the challenges and successes of porting the game, with IGA claiming the minigames and overall playability are superior to the PlayStation version, and mention the addition of a new event, like a 100 meters race during the sports festival. The page also includes a section detailing how players can get the latest game updates via Konami's official website, even mentioning an online contest related to Tokimeki Memorial. A significant portion is dedicated to discussions about the possibility of a sequel, titled Tokimeki Memorial 2. Staff members express the immense pressure and user expectations surrounding a follow-up, acknowledging the desire for one, but stating that active development isn't currently underway. They emphasize the need for a sequel to surpass the original, and avoid the pitfalls of rushed, popularity-driven spin-offs, asking fans for continued support and patience. The page features character illustrations, including a large image of Shiori Fujisaki in a swimsuit, and a photo of the development staff during a roundtable discussion about the sequel. This page continues the look into Tokimeki Memorial, highlighting the upcoming Saturn version and sparking excitement for the future. A major focus is the announcement of a massive project seeking fan submissions for a potential Tokimeki Memorial 2. Fans are encouraged to send in ideas for new characters, gameplay mechanics, and scenarios, with the promise that winning concepts might influence a sequel, and top entries receive special artwork from the game's designer, IGA. Alongside the sequel buzz, the page introduces a brand new character exclusive to the Sega Saturn release. Miharu Tatebayashi, dubbed the 12th Girl, described as a mysterious figure who subtly watches over the protagonist. Miharu makes her debut appearance here, featured prominently in a large illustration, wearing a yukata and a charming koala hat. 2 screenshots showcase her character model within the game, giving players a first look at this intriguing addition. This confirms the Saturn port isn't just a simple conversion, but includes unique content for fans. The next page delves into the core of Tokimeki Memorial, covering the game's story premise and introducing the main characters. It highlights the start of the protagonist's 3 years at Kirameki High School, laying the groundwork for the simulation gameplay. Key characters featured include the main heroine, Shiori Fujisaki, described as the perfect girl, and the protagonist's childhood friend. We also see the protagonist's best friend, Yoshio Saotome, who is portrayed as an expert on girls and a source of information. The rival, Rei Ijuin, a wealthy heir, is also introduced. The page prominently features the 11 girls waiting to meet the protagonist, showcasing several of the potential love interests. These include diverse personalities such as the star swimmer Nozomi Kiyokawa, the quiet literature lover Mio Kisaragi, the popular idol Akira Kagami, the quirky scientist Yuna Himu, the gentle Yukari Koshiki, the energetic soccer manager Saki Nijino, the trend-following Yuko Asahina, the shy Ai Mikihara, and the unique artist Ayako Katagiri. Yumi Saotome, Yoshio's younger sister, is also shown, appearing later in the game. The character, Miharu Tatebayashi, introduced previously as the 12th girl, is also pictured among them. The goal is to navigate high school life and form a relationship with one of these girls by graduation. This page provides a guide to the fundamental systems and character development in Tokimeki Memorial, focusing on how to raise the protagonist and attract the girls. It highlights the importance of balancing academic and athletic pursuits during the 3 years of high school life to increase the protagonist's abilities and appeal. The page breaks down the protagonist's key parameters: stamina, academics, science, art, sports, miscellaneous knowledge, appearance, guts, and stress. It explains how these stats influence the game and interactions. Daily actions like studying or exercising are performed using commands, affecting these parameters. Rest is also crucial for managing fatigue and stress, which can negatively impact stats and health. Different strategies for wooing girls are discussed, emphasizing focusing on specific areas like academics, appearances, or sports to match a girl's preferences. The page also reveals 3 hidden parameters for each girl: the Tokimeki meter, indicating romantic affection, friendship, representing platonic closeness, and the wound meter, showing how hurt the girl is by the protagonist's actions. These invisible stats determine how girls react and are crucial for success. Screenshots illustrate the game's interface, showing the protagonist's stats, the weekly schedule for planning activities, and various school and date scenes. Character portraits display different emotional states based on the hidden parameters. The page concludes with a summary, encouraging players to challenge themselves and develop a well-rounded or specialized protagonist. The next page dives into the main school events throughout your high school life in Tokimeki Memorial, highlighting them as prime opportunities to make your appeal to the girl you admire. Regular occurrences like term end tests influence your parameters based on your performance. Major events include the school trip in your second year, where you choose a destination like Hokkaido, Kyoto/Nara, or Okinawa. These trips feature free action days, where you can invite a girl, but beware of unexpected battles specific to each location, requiring you to fight enemies like bears or deer, with special helper characters appearing when needed. The Cultural Festival and Sports Festival are big events, allowing participation and interaction. The Cultural Festival, primarily for the Literature Club, offers exhibitions and chances to visit with friends, while the Sports Festival is focused on athletics, with various races like the borrowing race or three-legged race. A cool detail is the special Twin Bee Time Attack minigame available through the Computer Club during the Cultural Festival. These events are crucial for boosting your standing and deepening relationships, as shown in the various screenshots depicting these activities and character reactions. In Tokimeki Memorial, after-school clubs are crucial for boosting your character's stats and achieving success. Sports clubs like baseball or soccer prepare you for tournaments and offer recognition, while cultural clubs such as literature or computer focus on events like the Cultural Festival. Summer training camps are vital for significant stat increases and offer unique events, including fan-favorite scenes and uji techniques, powerful skills learned in the third year. Clubs also provide a direct way to meet and build relationships with girls, with each club having specific girls associated with it. Participating in activities and events leads to special interactions. Joining a club is essential for a fulfilling high school experience in the game, offering varied gameplay and opportunities for connection. This page focuses on dating girls in Tokimeki Memorial, highlighting it as a core part of high school memories. It breaks down the dating process into steps: gathering information, getting the girl's number, often via your friend Suki-san, calling her to schedule a date, setting the meeting place and time, the date itself, and the conversation. The guide stresses the importance of preparation, including checking schedules and researching date spots. It warns against common mistakes, like being late or changing plans, which can upset the girl. Dates themselves feature seasonal events, showing examples like spring, summer, autumn, and winter scenarios that can reveal unexpected sides of the girls, such as Shiori Fujisaki with pitcher plants, or Megumi Mikihara finding a kitten. Conversation choices are crucial, impacting affection and friendliness parameters. Selecting the right response is key to a successful date. Screenshots depict various date scenes and character interactions with girls like Shiori Fujisaki, Yukari Koshiki, and Megumi Mikihara, illustrating the dialogue options. The overall message is to be prepared, understand the girls, and explore different date possibilities to capture their hearts. The next page delves into the less romantic but crucial aspects of Tokimeki Memorial, particularly the dreaded bomb system. Neglecting girls you've previously befriended can lead to a bomb appearing next to their portrait, signifying rising stress and falling affection. If not dealt with quickly by calling them or going on a date, this bomb will explode, severely damaging that girl's relationship and potentially spreading bad rumors that affect others. The page also covers positive interactions, like girls asking the protagonist out on dates themselves, emphasizing you should absolutely never decline if you want to keep them happy. It shows a chart detailing how your choice of words when turning down a date impacts their stress levels. Finally, it highlights a unique recurring event, the battle against the Bancho, gang leader. This isn't a typical dating sim element, adding a combat challenge where you use special skills learned throughout the game, like club activities, to defeat him and his crew. Successfully winning these fights demonstrates your growth and commitment, earning you respect. The page includes screenshots of the turn-based combat against the Bancho. The summary section features Shiori reflecting on the game's mechanics, hoping you don't decline her dates and wish you'd call more often. The next page dives into the diverse events that make up the heart of Tokimeki Memorial. It explains that experiencing these is key to becoming a true master of the game. The page categorizes events into those happening at specific times of the year and more random occurrences. Annual events include the Christmas party, which requires certain appearance and fitness stats to attend, and the crucial Valentine's Day and White Day, where you receive different types of chocolate and are expected to give return gifts. Birthdays are also important, involving giving and receiving presents. There's also an annual summer festival in August, featuring mini-games like goldfish scooping and ring toss, and a New Year's Day shrine visit. Other events can happen more randomly, such as girls visiting you when you're sick, walking home together after school which boosts popularity, or a unique peak event tied to getting injured. Finally, the page includes a summary where Shiori emphasizes the importance of dates and encounters, reinforcing that these interactions are what the game is all about. This page is a Sega power-up report focusing on the upcoming Sega Saturn port of the arcade fighting game, Fighting Vipers. It confirms the release date and highlights that the port is nearing completion. The report proudly states that two-player colors are finalized and the character Honey has been fully implemented. The page showcases the game's roster through character select and gameplay screenshots featuring characters like Tokyo, Bon, Raxel, Grace, Sandman, Honey, Picky, and Jane. A significant focus is placed on the game's graphical fidelity, particularly the lighting effects, which are claimed to surpass the arcade version. Examples are shown from the city stage, demonstrating dynamic lighting, and Jane's stage, highlighting impressive colored spotlights in yellow, blue, green, and pink. Commentary from a developer emphasizes the successful replication and enhancement of the visual effects on the Saturn. The Sega Power-Up Report previews the Saturn port of Fighting Vipers, featuring an interview with Mr. Kataoka. The port largely replicates arcade features, including wall physics and stage effects, though some complex elements like flying objects are proving difficult. The Saturn version will be a complete arcade transplant, incorporating features like the Wimp Man pose and potentially exclusive content. New modes, including a training mode, are planned. An arranged version separate from the original arcade mode is also under consideration. The report includes screenshots showcasing characters and features, with a humorous note about a reader's secret quest. This page of Sega Power-Up Report focuses on Nights into Dreams, offering advice rather than a strict strategy guide. It introduces some of the bosses you'll encounter in the game. The first section covers the bosses in the initial two dreams, Gilwing and Puffy. Interestingly, the report points out that which of these bosses appears is actually random after completing the 4 courses in a dream, not based on your score. Gilwing is described as the easiest, defeated primarily with a touch dash, while Puffy requires pushing her into pillars using the same technique. The report then introduces 2 more nightmares from the later dreams: the underwater giant fish, Guolpo, and the card-throwing jackal. Guolpo is immune to direct attacks and hides inside pillars, requiring a different approach, leveraging its dash attack. Jackal is described as a magician-like foe who throws giant cards. You'll need to dodge his attacks and get close to damage him. Finally, strategies for 2 other Nightmarens are detailed. Claws, a rocket-firing enemy defeated with a touch dash, and Riala. Fighting Riala, who flies directly at you, involves using a parry loop when he gets close to deal damage. The page includes screenshots illustrating the different boss battles and tactics. This page dives into the third dreams for both Claris and Elliot in Nights into Dreams, offering strategies and introducing the stages from a score attack perspective. The Soft Museum, Claris's third dream, is highlighted for its unique, soft, bouncy environment. Elliot's third dream, Stick Canyon, is presented as a more challenging stage filled with obstacles and traps, requiring precise movement. The page provides specific tips for navigating the courses within these dreams for maximizing score. The core of score attack in Nights is explained, focusing on creating links by collecting items in quick succession, which is essential for high scores. Techniques like using the touch dash and parry loops are mentioned as key to achieving these links and navigating the levels efficiently. The article emphasizes that mastering score attack requires understanding item placement, movement techniques, and practice. It also briefly mentions a contest encouraging players to achieve high scores, underlining the importance of the strategies discussed. This page is a Sega power-up report focusing on the upcoming release of Virtua Fighter Kids. It showcases the adorable, super-deformed versions of the classic Virtua Fighter cast. The main highlight is a look into the game's ending movies, which offer humorous glimpses into the characters' private lives, contrasting with their fierce fighting personas. You see characters like Wolf shown as a wrestler in his element, Pain potentially in a dangerous gang situation, Shun taking a well-deserved rest, Sarah in a tense confrontation, and Lion just waking up. The article notes that these endings are designed to be funny and provide a different perspective on the fighters. The Sega Saturn version is also highlighted, promising original visuals and content, including extended opening and ending movies filled with comical action and features like a dedicated combo practice mode. It clearly aims to emphasize the charm and unique appeal of this spin-off title. This page gives us a further look at the upcoming Virtua Fighter Kids, focusing on presentation and a significant new character reveal. We see updates to the game's opening movie, with comparisons showing how the addition of detailed backgrounds dramatically enhances the visual impact, making the sequences feel complete and dynamic. Character-specific opening scenes are previewed, including Pain in a grassland with a panda, Akira dramatically silhouetted against a sunset, and Wolf in his signature wrestling ring. The big news is the unveiling of a new enemy character, Crystal Dural. This mysterious entity appears to be the final CPU opponent, looking like a metallic Dural encased in crystal. The article speculates on its true form and whether its body is transparent, contrasting it with the familiar silver and gold Dural from previous Virtua Fighter titles. It's hinted that unlocking this character might require specific conditions. Additionally, a new movie clip is shown, featuring the kid characters playfully engaged in a game of tag, highlighting the game's lighthearted tone. The magazine also announced a combo creation contest for Virtua Fighter Kids, inviting fans to showcase their best move sequences. This page provides an exciting development update for Virtua Cop 2 on the Sega Saturn. It reveals new details and screenshots, including a look at the previously unseen left route and progress on Stage 2. The 3 main protagonists, Janet, James, and Michael, are prominently featured. The report confirms that development is proceeding smoothly, with Stage 1 nearing completion. A specific highlight is the fateful recreation of a memorable scene from the arcade's Right Route, where a masked criminal dramatically jumps onto a vehicle. The page then focuses on the newly revealed Left Route in the downtown area, showcasing exhilarating car chases through the city streets and buildings. Screenshots illustrate the varied environments and intense shootouts occurring from the vehicle. Following this, the high-speed Right Route chase is detailed, emphasizing the thrilling sense of speed and cars leaping off ramps. Finally, Stage 2 is previewed, featuring scenes from the hospital area with fierce combat and a grand shot of the large ship level, which the article notes is being rendered in fine detail. The overall tone is one of anticipation for the Saturn version, promising a high-quality port that captures the arcade's intensity and excitement. A small table provides basic game information, but the development status is noted as 25%. This page provides an exciting update on the development of Sakura Wars for the Sega Saturn. The main headline exclaims, "The true final goal is becoming visible." indicating significant progress. The report reveals the titles for the first 5 episodes of the game's story. These include Episode 1, The Capital's Glorious Flower Division, Episode 4, Rampage, Great Rampage, and Episode 5, The Flower Blossoms, and the Maiden's Resolve. The settings for Episode 4 is confirmed to be Asakusa, while Episode 5 takes place in Fukagawa. The page features character artwork, including sketches and finished illustrations of characters like Sakura Shinguji and Ichiro Ogami, giving a glimpse into the game's visual style. Several screenshots are showcased, illustrating the strategic simulation battle sequences where units move and attack on a grid, offering a look at the tactical gameplay elements. There's also a peek at the interior of the Imperial Theater's basement, suggesting exploration and adventure elements. The page touches upon the game's genre as an adventure title mixed with strategy. This page continues the in-depth look at Sakura Wars on the Sega Saturn. It delves into the relationship system, explaining how player actions as the captain affect the trust levels with the squad members, which in turn influences their combat performance. The interactive lip system is highlighted as a key way player choices shape these relationships during adventure segments. The page also emphasizes the importance of deepening bonds and teamwork, suggesting that the player's decisions could lead to a close relationship with a specific character, introducing romance simulation elements alongside the adventure and strategy gameplay. Various screenshots illustrate these points, showing intimate character moments, group interactions, and scenes from different parts of the game, including character visits, dialogue choices via lips, and key story events like train travel or social gatherings. The content suggests that building trust and navigating character relationships is a core and engaging part of the game experience, potentially leading to different romantic outcomes. This page features a Sega recruitment advertisement on the left and a dual game advertisement on the right from Victor Entertainment. The games promoted are Tournament Leader, a golf simulation title, and Makai o Yugekitai Katsugekihen, an action-adventure game featuring anime-style characters. This page features a vibrant 2-page advertisement promoting the Victor V Saturn console and its capabilities. The Victor V Saturn, model RGJX2, is highlighted as fully compatible with the standard Sega Saturn, offering a fresh take on the console with a sleek design. A key accessory featured is the Twin Operator, which enables the console to play video crids and photo crids, and critically, enhances compatible MPEG games for clearer visuals. This is presented as a powerful combination that expands the fun of the Saturn. The advertisement also showcases the game Wangan Dead Heat plus Real Arrange. This racing title focuses on realistic street racing, particularly emphasizing challenging drift techniques. Screenshots display the intense high-speed action on coastal highways, promising a palpable sense of speed and control fidelity. The game also features a 2-player split-screen mode for head-to-head battles. Adding to the package, the Real Arrange part includes video content featuring popular gravure models, incorporating them into the racing experience and offering additional behind-the-scenes footage. This page positions the V Saturn and Twin Operator as the ultimate setup for experiencing Sega Saturn games and multimedia. This page announces the exciting contents coming in the second issue of the Sega Saturn magazine, Gameware, which released on July 5th. It features a variety of exclusive content, including original serialized games, digital comics, interactive advertising, digital galleries, and information sections. Highlights include Aoi Mizu no Naka, a live-action FMV game promising suspense, and Pip-It Boy's Great Adventure 2, the return of a fun 3D puzzle game exclusive to the disc. Virtua Fighter fans can look forward to Legend of Sarah Part 1, a digital comic starring Sarah Bryant. The magazine also features a masterpiece collection, showcasing a classic title like Galactic Attack, known as Layer Section in Japan, a feature on the highly anticipated Nights into Dreams, and even interactive advert games like Telecom Town 2 and Cinderella Cruising from Mitsubishi. Beyond games, there are sections on music, movies, and shopping. Gameware Volume 2 is available now, with Volume 3 scheduled for October 5th. This page proudly announces the arrival of Ogre Battle, the March of the Black Queen on the Sega Saturn. Heralding it as a resurrection or evolution, the page showcases the vibrant character artwork and hints at the grand scale of this classic simulation RPG. The Sega Saturn version promises to faithfully recreate the beloved original world, while introducing exclusive sub-scenarios to deepen the experience. Players can look forward to a significant upgrade in presentation with enhanced BGM, compelling sound effects, and narrative voice dialogue, alongside gameplay improvements like added save points for a smoother journey through the epic saga. The game is scheduled for release in September 1996. The page also teases that Tactics Ogre will be coming to the Sega Saturn in the winter. Screenshots illustrate the unit management, world map, and tactical battle views familiar to fans of the series. This page features a twofold showcase of exciting titles for the Sega Saturn. On the left, we see the announcement of a special box edition for Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner. This special package includes the main game across 2 CD-ROMs, plus an exclusive 8cm music CD featuring arranged tracks and voice clips, a treat for fans. The artwork highlights the game's stylish protagonist and a supporting character, alongside familiar demon designs like a Jack Frost variant. The right half of the page is dedicated to the intense arcade port Strikers 1945. Promoted as a super hardcore shooting game set in World War II, the vibrant cover art depicts classic fighter planes engaging in aerial combat against a battleship. Key features highlighted include smooth gameplay, an exclusive console mode, the ability to pilot 6 distinct real-world aircraft, and various special attacks. Both the PlayStation and Sega Saturn versions are announced as being on sale to great acclaim. This page showcases 2 distinct puzzle game offerings. On the left, Clockworks, a unique action puzzle game from the creator of Tetris, Alexei Pajitnov, features strange claymation-style characters and challenging clock-based puzzles across 50 stages, planned for release on PlayStation, Saturn, and 3DO. The right introduces Body Special 264, a Sega Saturn motion puzzle game where players complete picture puzzles featuring various women, including Akiko Yajima and Chi Matsuda, offering movie, versus, and craft modes for summer fun. The next page features a prominent advertisement for the Sega Saturn RPG, Albert Odyssey. Legend of Eldian, published by Sunsoft, and set for release in the summer of 1996. The ad displays dynamic character art, including the main cast, along with small screenshots showing gameplay and battle sequences. It also promotes the Sunsoft fan club, Aquarism, and highlights early purchase bonuses and a special prize campaign. The right side offers a valuable CD jacket guide for the dating simulation game, Tokimeki Memorial Forever with You. Illustrated with a character likely Shiori Fujisaki, this section is designed to be cut out and folded into a CD case insert. Its primary content is a comprehensive list of recommended dialogue options players should choose during dates at various locations to improve relationships with the game's characters. The accompanying text emphasizes the guide's utility in navigating conversations for successful virtual romance. This page continues the valuable CD jacket guide for Tokimeki Memorial Forever with You, offering more detailed advice on dialogue choices for dates at various locations like the beach, ski slopes, and amusement parks to improve relationships. It also includes a profile and illustration for the character Ayaka Katagiri, highlighting her personality and preferred date spots. The main feature is an exciting special report on the production announcement of Sentimental Graffiti. This highly anticipated dating simulation game promises 12 charming heroines, each located in a different region across Japan, waiting for the player to meet them. The report covers the announcement event, emphasizing the game's goals including realistic graphics and securing top voice talent, partly through a Voice Challenger CD audition process. It highlights the unique concept of traveling across Japan to connect with the heroines, a departure from typical dating sims. The page includes illustrations of the heroines linked to their respective locations on a map of Japan, and a photo from the event itself. This page continues the look at the upcoming dating simulation game, Sentimental Graffiti. It explains that the story begins with a letter, leading the protagonist on a journey across Japan to reunite with 12 heroines he met during his youth. The core gameplay involves traveling to different locations nationwide to deepen bonds and create new memories with these characters. The page also touches upon the Voice Challenger project, an audition process designed to find new voice talent for the game's heroines. This initiative provided aspiring voice actors with a chance to debut alongside established professionals. Finally, the page begins introducing the game's extensive cast in a character album Part 1. This section features 6 of the 12 heroines: Honoka Sawatari, Wakana Ayasaki, Emiru Nagakura, Manami Sugihara, Kaho Mori, and Chi Matsuoka. Each character is presented with a full illustration, concept sketches showing different expressions and hairstyles, a brief description of their personality, and their assigned voice actor. This offers a first look at the diverse personalities and designs of the heroines the player will encounter on their journey. This page continues the interview with the producer of Sentimental Graffiti, delving deeper into the philosophy behind the game's extensive cast. He explains the incredible depth of character settings created for each of the 12 heroines, noting that, while richly detailed, the player won't necessarily uncover every facet in a single playthrough. The interview also reiterates the significance of the Voice Challenger project, emphasizing the success in discovering new voice talent who debuts alongside established professionals in the game. Following the interview, the character album continues with Part 2, introducing the next 6 heroines. Players get a look at Yunanase, Rurika Yamamoto, Miyuki Hosaka, Asuka Hoshino, Taeko Adachi, and Akira Endo. Each character is showcased with a main illustration, offering a clear view of their unique appearance and school uniform or casual wear. Smaller sketches provide a variety of facial expressions and poses, giving a sense of their animated personalities. Accompanying text provides a summary of their individual traits, hobbies, and backgrounds, expanding the diverse lineup of potential romantic interests the player will encounter across Japan in Sentimental Graffiti. This page shifts focus to another popular dating simulation game, Dokusei If. It's highlighted as a chance to re-experience a summer day and fully explore the game's charm. The page features large, attractive character illustrations and screenshots that give a clear sense of the game's visual style. The article guides players on how to get along with the many girls in the game. It explains the basic flow involves exploring the town where the protagonist resides, and visiting adjacent towns to meet girls and deepen relationships. The screenshots show different locations, like streets, cafes, and date spots. It emphasizes that building relationships is key, leading to dates that can happen in various locations, like amusement parks or regular hangouts. Players need to talk to the girls and make choices to progress. The final section teases the romantic culmination of the game, where the relationship reaches its peak, promising both happy and bittersweet endings depending on the choices made. Dokusei If is presented as a game offering a deep dive into emotional relationships with a diverse cast of characters. This page continues our look at the classic dating simulation game, Dokusei If. It provides essential tips for players aiming to build relationships with the game's heroines. The content is broken down into 3 key points to master. First, it's crucial to understand the flow of time in the game. Different actions, like entering buildings or moving between locations, consume varying amounts of in-game time. Screenshots illustrate how time passes when entering places like the school or shops, showing the importance of planning your day effectively. Second, the page stresses the absolute necessity of keeping promises and appointments, especially dates. Missing a date can severely damage a relationship, and double booking is highlighted as something to absolutely avoid. Visuals show characters on dates, emphasizing the importance of these events. Third, the guide advises players to be extremely careful with their dialogue choices. Conversations are vital for getting closer to the girls, and making the wrong choice can lead to negative impressions or even block progress. Screenshots show characters engaged in dialogue with selectable options. Finally, the page teases the numerous event scenes available in the game, and introduces specific character events, focusing particularly on Hori Masumi. Described as a childhood friend who is now a police officer, Masumi's events are showcased with several dramatic and emotional CGs, including her getting drunk, and a significant kissing scene, giving players a glimpse into the depth of her storyline. The article also mentions events for other characters like Sakuma, Kurokawa, and Mikuni. The next page continues the deep dive into Dokusei If, shifting focus to specific characters and showcasing stunning event graphics. The left side features profiles for 2 key heroines, Kurokawa Satomi, described as a childhood friend from elementary school, and Sakuma Chiharu, referred to as a housework helper older sister. Screenshots illustrate moments in their stories, from Satomi's thoughtful expressions by a fence or at night, to Chiharu's appearances at familiar in-game locations like the OITIM Cafe. On the right, the page presents an unreleased graphics special feature. This section highlights the game's beautiful, high-resolution visuals, emphasizing their importance in conveying the story and character development. A collection of large event CGs is displayed, offering glimpses into various characters' key moments. These include scenes featuring characters like Kono at work, Mifuyu outside her family's store, Tisai, Nanase in a clothing shop, Hiroko in a pensive state, and Banbi recovering from an injury, as well as Raiko depicted in elegant kimono scenes. The feature underscores the visual appeal and narrative depth unlocked through these crucial event scenes. This page dives deep into the upcoming home port of Street Fighter Alpha 2. The prominent artwork features the game's central figures, Ryu, Akuma, and the formidable M. Bison, highlighting the intense rivalries within the game. The article provides an update on the Saturn version's progress, stating it's nearing completion at 70%. A table briefly lists release details and pricing. The main focus is on whether key features from the arcade version are faithfully recreated. They test the original combo (OC) system, demonstrating various character combos like Ryu's Shoryuken finisher, Zangief's screw pile driver, and Charlie's sonic boom rush, confirming they feel the same as the arcade. Another section examines the strange automatic mode, noting it seems to assist with guarding or easy combos, though the details are still being explored. Screenshots show the auto indicator during gameplay. The stage backgrounds are also highlighted as being fully recreated, capturing the lively details and unique elements of each location, such as the crowd watching the Ken stage. Finally, a next entry section teases the reveal of the remaining 10 characters, including names like Sagat, Rolento, and Gen, building anticipation for the full roster announcement. This page announces the arrival of the 5th game in the Fatal Fury series, Real Bout Fatal Fury, declaring the true king of Southtown is now revealed. A large illustration features Geese Howard, the game's iconic antagonist. The article highlights that this latest installment is a significant upgrade from Fatal Fury 3, featuring an enhanced system and a larger character roster. Screenshots showcase various gameplay mechanics and characters. The revamped system includes features like ringouts, which send opponents flying out of the stage, and new attack options like standing attacks and oversway attacks, offering more strategic depth. Fan favorites like Terry Bogard and Body Bogard, Joe Higashi, Billy Kane, and others return, alongside new additions. The article also mentions the game's support for the expanded RAM cartridge, promising a smooth, arcade-perfect experience for the home console, allowing complex movements and details to be rendered without compromise. The overall sentiment conveyed is one of anticipation for this high-quality fighting game port. The next page features a striking illustration related to an art collection by Akemi Takada, compiled from works for PC Engine Fan Magazine and presented as a Cledrom art book compatible with multiple platforms, including the Saturn. Main content, however, is dedicated to the Sega Saturn under the banner of King of Saturn, incorporating reader submissions and data. This section presents Ranking Street, which compiles game rankings based on reader feedback and sales data. We see charts covering late June and early July of 1996. The big story here is the monumental debut of Nights into Dreams, which launched straight to number 1 in the July chart, with its limited edition selling out on day 1. A clear indicator of massive anticipation and immediate success for this innovative title. Other strong performers in these rankings include the Shooter Strikers 1945, the unique adventure Gekahu Mugentan Toriko, and the fighting classic Fatal Fury 3. This provides a solid snapshot of what players were buying and discussing on the Saturn during this period. This page is a reader submission form for Sega Saturn Fan Magazine, directly linking to the King of Saturn and Ranking Street sections. Readers can use the postcard side to submit feedback or suggestions across various categories like rankings, clubs, or research. The other side serves as a survey for reader demographics, prize applications for items listed elsewhere in the issue, and, crucially, a section for submitting high scores or rankings for popular Saturn titles. Games specifically listed for score submission include Nights into Dreams, Wipeout, Tekken 2, Digital Pinball, Last Gladiators, Cotton, and Sengoku Blade. This form is the mechanism by which the magazine gathers the data used for features like the game rankings highlighted on the previous page, inviting direct reader participation in shaping the magazine's content. This page presents the Ranking Street feature, showcasing reader-submitted rankings and reviews for recent game releases. The main table lists the top-rated games based on reader votes, along with scores across various categories like graphics, sound, and overall satisfaction. Topping the chart is Kingdom Grand Prix, listed as Shippu Mahu Daisakusen, praised for its unique blend of shooting and racing elements and satisfying gameplay. Following at number 2 is Night Striker Seas, a shooter that unfortunately received criticism for being a disappointing port, with slow gameplay and underwhelming visuals compared to its arcade counterpart. Coming in third is Darius 2, noted as a solid port with good difficulty, though some felt the screen scaling effect wasn't as impactful as expected. The list continues with other titles like Crash and the Boys, Street Challenge, listed as Bikuri Niketsu Shin Kiroku, and the visual novel Crime Photo, What Did the Bound Girls See?, each accompanied by condensed reader feedback and comments directly from the game developers. The Sweet Talk sections offer brief reader impressions, while the From the Maker sections provide insights or responses from the development teams. The next page continues the Ranking Street feature, this time focusing on games readers are anticipating or desperately want ported to the Sega Saturn. The first list covers anticipated and wished-for ports, showing games like Sakura Wars and Street Fighter Alpha 2 ranking high in popularity. The second table specifically lists the top 10 games readers most want to see ported, with Final Fantasy V2 taking the top spot, reflecting strong demand for major RPGs on the platform. A special feature titled Port Wish Grand Prix Volume 7 delves deeper into these requests, discussing the strong desire for arcade ports, particularly mentioning titles like Manx TT and Last Bronx, and speculating on the feasibility of bringing these experiences to the Saturn, highlighting the potential for realistic racing and fighting games. Finally, the page includes a call for readers to submit their own game reviews for both recent and older titles by July 29th for a chance to win prizes, listing specific games they are looking for reviews on for issue 18, including titles like Nights into Dreams and Daytona USA. This page continues the Ranking Street feature, presenting the real-time game ranking. The large headline proudly declares that Virtua Fighter 2 has held on to the top spot with overwhelming support. The main content is a ranking table, showing games, their rank, points, and movement from the previous list, reflecting game satisfaction based on reader reviews and sales data. The text highlights Virtua Fighter 2's continued dominance and touches on other popular titles, discussing reader feedback. Below the main ranking, and another report section offers insights into specific games' performance in the rankings. One report notes that new titles aren't gaining points quickly, using Night Striker CES as an example, suggesting mixed reactions to its port. Another report focuses on Gale Racers, lamenting that despite a promising opening, its lack of content and dated feel led to it ranking poorly, perhaps disappointing fans who wanted a solid racing experience. This section gives a glimpse into the reviewer or magazine's opinion on specific releases and how they fared with the audience compared to expectations. This page presents the Game Research Lab feature, offering detailed insights to help players master games. The primary focus is on Greatest 996, a baseball simulation, providing an extensive breakdown of registered player data for 384 players. The article highlights the importance of this internal data, stating it will be invaluable for both pennant race mode and versus matches. The page features large tables filled with player statistics for teams like the Yakult Swallows, Yomiuri Giants, Hiroshima Carp, and Yokohama Baystars. While the tables contain vast amounts of data on pitching, hitting, running, defense, and strength attributes, the key takeaway is how this data can be utilized. The player data utilization sections explain how to leverage these stats for strategic team building, optimizing starting lineups, and making crucial position changes, demonstrating with examples like swapping players to improve defense or offense. The guide emphasizes understanding individual player abilities through the data to formulate winning strategies. An index at the top also indicates that features on Clockwork Knights, Pinball Graffiti, and Crime Photo, What the Imprisoned Girls Saw, will follow on later pages. Overall, this page is a deep dive into the mechanics and data behind Greatest 996, aimed at serious players looking to gain a strategic edge. This page continues the deep dive into Greatest 996, providing extensive player data and strategic team analysis for the Chubu Dragons, Oryx Blue Wave, Cebu Lions, Fukuoka Daihawks, Hanshin Tigers, Chiba Lotte Marines, Nipponham Fighters, and Kintetsu Buffaloes. This data is crucial for understanding each team's strengths and weaknesses in the game. This page features strategy guides for two distinct Sega Saturn games. First, we have a breakdown of Clockwork Knight, emphasizing its action elements over puzzles. This guide provides crucial tips for players looking to progress smoothly. It covers fundamental skills like understanding movement, effectively using collected items, mastering the timing for defeating bosses, and strategies for the competitive versus mode. It's all about applying these specific points to overcome challenges. Below that is a guide for digital pinball. Necronomicon, focusing on how to achieve high scores, stressing that just hitting the ball randomly won't cut it. It explains the rules for scoring big, particularly how to trigger the jackpot feature. The guide details targeting specific table features, like orbits and holes, to lock balls, initiate multi-ball, and ultimately earn the jackpot. It also highlights the importance of skillful flipper usage and aiming for the right spots on the table to maximize points. Understanding the table's layout and scoring mechanics is essential. This page delves into a strategy guide for the adventure game, Crime Photo, detailing how to explore its 3 distinct stories and reach multiple endings. The guide emphasizes that choices are key to unlocking the various paths, presenting a flowchart that illustrates how decisions in different chapters lead to specific endings, including several bad end scenarios. It also briefly mentions an album mode feature tied to game completion. The page also features interviews with Sega's CS development staff, offering a glimpse into their daily lives and personal interests like favorite karaoke songs. Developers known for titles such as Panzer Dragoon Saga and Sakura Wars share insights beyond game development. Finally, there is a brief spotlight on Oki, a developer involved with Panzer Dragoon Saga, and a call for readers to submit questions for future developer interviews. This page features a strategy guide for the RPG Big 3 Collection 1, specifically focusing on Albert Odyssey, Legend of Eldian. The guide is the first installment, covering key events up to the midpoint of the first part of the game. It includes a detailed map of the world, showing important locations for the covered events. There's also a spotlight on the character Bake, detailing his background, having lost his parents to goblins as a child, and being raised by harpies before becoming the main character. The page also includes extensive advertisements for game design schools in Tokyo and Osaka, showcasing course details and student testimonials. This page continues the strategy guide for Albert Odyssey, Legend of Eldian, picking up after Bake leaves the Harpy Forest. It details the crucial early events and encounters in the game, leading Bake to human settlements and introducing his first companions. The guide covers meeting important characters like the mysterious Bernard, the searching sorcerer Estan, the merchant girl Rue who needs rescuing, the heroine Ika Oberis, and the high priest Leos Factria. These events involve conflicts, including confrontations with Bernard and a vampire threatening the town of Solus. Strategic information for the first 2 dungeons is provided. The Mountain Pass Cave, the first dungeon, features goblins who can inflict the fatigue status. The guide highlights dealing with the goblin boss. The second dungeon, Frontier Castle, is a multi-floor labyrinth with various enemies, including red slimes that can use a fusion ability, and culminates in a boss fight against the Frontier Count, a powerful vampire vulnerable to light-based attacks. Maps for the castle floors are included, along with lists of key items found in each dungeon. The coverage here provides essential direction for players navigating the game's opening chapters and overcoming these initial challenges. This page continues the strategy guide for Albert Odyssey, Legend of Eldian, detailing the next steps in Bayek's journey. We see Bake aiding a plague-stricken Dragonu Dradit village, leading to the proud Dragonu Dradit elder, Mason, joining the party. The guide then covers an encounter with Lechesta Valerie, a sorceress devoted to Bernard, who attempts to stop Bake but is defeated, highlighting her tragic attachment. Bake next reaches Goat Town, where he confronts Baron Caesar, a bandit leader influenced by the sorceress Norma, and the cursed sword Madriacker. Baron mistakes Bake for his sister, adding a bizarre twist. Bake then meets Gay Granton, a hero destined to fight the undying Emperor Ladria, and they team up to challenge Baron in his tower. The dungeon guide for Baron's tower is provided, mentioning various items found, including weapons and healing supplies. It details the climactic battle against Baron and Norma. Norma is a powerful sorceress who supports Baron, empowered by the Madriacker. Although Norma escapes, Bayek defeats Baron, concluding the first major arc and setting the stage for the next part of the adventure, involving the resurrection of the legendary Undying Emperor, Ladria. The guide also includes character profiles for Mason, Lechesta, Baron, Gay, and a brief on Ladria. The next page dives into Langrisser 2 Eyes, highlighting key scenarios from the mid-game, specifically 11 through 13. It mentions the game faced a release delay but is now progressing. The page summarizes the initial setup, detailing the invasion of the Larkus Kingdom by the Rigurgan Empire, the kingdom's fall, the protagonist's escape to a floating castle, and the subsequent preparation for a counterattack. Scenario 11 focuses on a complex three-way conflict over Larkus territory, involving the Rigrugan Empire, the Beryl Kingdom, led by figures like Gale and Durandal, and a mysterious new enemy. The goal is to defend the Saliris Gate. Further scenarios involve navigating dangerous forests filled with monsters, encountering civilians who present difficult moral choices during battle, and confronting powerful enemies like Phalakia, where you might face Imperial General Borzeld. The page also highlights unexpected ambushes that can occur. A core feature discussed is the semi-real-time battle system. You issue commands to your units during command phases, and then the units execute those actions simultaneously in real time. This requires strategic planning of movement and attacks. The page is filled with screenshots showing character portraits during dialogue, tactical battle maps, and the unit sprites engaged in combat. Several characters are featured, including Luna, Gilbert, Emmerich, and the Dark Knight, suggesting their importance in these sections of the game. This page continues the deep dive into Langrisser 2, covering key moments in Scenarios 12 and 13. Scenario 12, Defend the Gate, throws you into a critical situation where Rigrugan forces are attacking the Saliris Gate, aiming to destroy a bridge. You must rescue the wise man Farvel amidst the chows in an ambush, defending the gate against both ground and flying units. The page highlights the strategic need to manage unit types, and the challenge posed by the enemy commander Emmerich, appearing to reinforce their lines. Timing your attacks to prevent the bridge's destruction is paramount. Failing to stop the enemy means game over. Scenario 13, Defend the Last Gate, introduces the mysterious Holy Beast Juggler. After rescuing Farvel, your party presses on to defend another gate. Here you encounter Juggler, a powerful shape-shifting being who could potentially join your cause. The battle involves splitting your forces to handle enemy units approaching from different directions, requiring careful defensive strategy, especially against the Rigrugan leader Lord and his forces aiming to break through. The page notes the importance of Juggler's capabilities once he joins your side, and hints at a humorous scene involving his transformation. The page is filled with vibrant screenshots showing character portraits during pivotal dialogue moments, tactical battle maps illustrating unit positions and objectives, and glimpses of the game's semi-real-time combat engine in action. It effectively conveys the escalating stakes and the introduction of powerful allies and enemies in these crucial mid-game scenarios. The next page shifts focus entirely to Lunar, Silver Star Story, highlighting the attention to detail in the game's battle animations for both characters and monsters. It emphasizes how the characters move charmingly during combat, and how special attacks feature more flashy motions. The page provides examples of standard attacks for characters like Alex and Luna, showing their basic sword swings and hand-to-hand combat animations. It also shows off specific techniques, such as Alex's sword dance, a swift dash and powerful slash, and Luna's healing song, depicted with graceful movement and light effects that restore HP. Not just the heroes are animated. Monsters like the Slime and Sasquatch also have distinct attack patterns and movements. The Sasquatch, for instance, is shown using both a standard punch and an ice throw attack, demonstrating variety even in common enemy types. Beyond combat, the page touches upon the game's detailed story elements, showcasing dialogue scenes that reveal character personalities and build the narrative. A special feature highlights the voice recording sessions for the game, showing the cast and noting their apparent passion for portraying their characters. This page clearly focuses on the vibrant presentation and animated detail that makes Lunar stand out. This page dives into Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 1, The Blue Destiny, specifically revealing details about a mysterious new mobile suit. It highlights the dramatic appearance of a powerful blue mobile suit that confronts the protagonist Yukojima and his allies. The magazine builds intrigue around this unit, questioning its purpose and who is piloting it, noting its resemblance to a modified GM but with vastly superior performance. Screenshots showcase the blue mobile suit in action, including cockpit views and intense battle scenes where it is shown easily overpowering standard GM units. The article emphasizes its incredible speed and durable armor, suggesting its capabilities are far beyond conventional mobile suits seen up to this point in the game. The opening sequence of Chapter 2, titled The Blue Destiny, is also previewed, featuring the blue unit in a striking confrontation. The page promises developer interviews and teases that this powerful new mobile suit is central to the plot of the second chapter, leaving the reader wondering about its true nature and its role as either friend or foe. There's a brief table summarizing release details like price and genre, confirming it's a shooting game. This page provides a deeper look into the Saturn's capabilities, with Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 1, The Blue Destiny, detailing significant graphical and animation improvements. It highlights how the mobile suits now move much more smoothly at a solid 30 frames per second, making combat feel much more responsive and visually impressive compared to previous iterations. The cockpit view has also been refined for better battlefield awareness. Furthermore, the game incorporates voice acting to enhance the narrative presentation. While the protagonist Yu Kojima remains silent, his squadmates and operators communicate during demo scenes that occur before missions and after clearing scenarios. These voiced conversations flesh out the situation and advance the story, immersing the player further into the game's world. Screenshots show these story sequences, including the opening scene featuring the distinctive blue mobile suit and the white base crew. A developer interview confirms the game is in the final debugging stages and discusses the core concept, creating an original Gundam story specifically tailored for the Saturn hardware, featuring branching paths and multiple endings influenced by player actions. A 2-minute CG movie serves as the opening sequence, promising a cinematic start to the game. The developers are confident they've pushed the Saturn to deliver a polished experience, overcoming technical challenges to realize the game's vision. They explain that the iconic blue color of the protagonist unit was chosen to reflect the game's title and stand out while fitting within the Gundam universe. This page dives into the fighting game Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Super's True Chaos, highlighting its unique premise where the Sailor Guardians themselves dispute who should be the main character of the game. The article features screenshots showing this plot point unfolding through dialogue and character reactions, adding a narrative layer to the fighting mechanics. The opening of the game is revealed to be a 3D CG movie showcasing the Sailor Guardians' powers, with examples shown for Sailor Mercury and Chibiusa. Gameplay screenshots demonstrate the fighting action, focusing on various special moves familiar to fans. Iconic attacks like Sailor Venus's Love Main Chain, Sailor Pluto's Dead Scream, and Sailor Moon's Moon Spiral Heart Attack are featured. The visuals suggest standard one-on-one fighting with dramatic special move effects. The game is confirmed as a fighting action title for the Saturn, and it includes original animation specific to this version. The next page presents Detective Saburo Jinguji, the unfinished report, marking the return of the classic adventure series on the Sega Saturn. This preview highlights the significant evolution from the Famicom era, promising enhanced features and a deeper narrative. Key characters are introduced or reintroduced with detailed profiles, including the protagonist Saburo Jinguji, his partner Yoko Mitsugi, and the experienced police detective Sanzo Kumano, alongside a new character, journalist Yusuke Yano. The article showcases improved graphics with striking visuals used in atmospheric movie sequences, focusing on the interplay of light and shadow. Gameplay involves interacting with the environment through updated commands and navigating various events, from searching for clues in locations like train station lockers or a hospital's data room, to engaging in minigames like darts for a change of pace. The scale of the cases and the criminal underworld players will confront are noted to be significantly larger in this installment. This page features previews for two distinct Sega Saturn titles. First up is The Magnificent World of El Hazard, an adventure game adaptation of the popular anime series. The preview highlights that the game is designed for multiple playthroughs, featuring numerous hidden scenes and secrets scattered throughout the narrative that cannot be fully experienced in a single attempt. It also introduces three significant characters: the High Priestesses Ms., Sheila, and Afra, who play key roles. The second preview covers Master of Monsters, Neo Generations, a fantasy simulation game. This strategy title focuses on commanding monstrous units in tactical battles. The article points out the game zooms in on individual monster conflicts and emphasizes the deep system of evolving monsters and fusing them together to create more powerful forces, mentioning over 50 different battlefields available for skirmishes. This page features two exciting upcoming titles for the Sega Saturn, spanning drastically different genres. First up is Heartbeat Scramble, a live-action romance adventure game. The premise puts you in the shoes of a high school student navigating 3 years of school life, aiming to get the heart of one of the girls. The game incorporates various school events like festivals and sports days, alongside activities like part-time jobs to earn money for dates on holidays. There are 6 potential romantic interests featured, including fellow students, a nurse, and even a police officer, each with their own personality and photo depiction. Dominating the right side of the page is Batsugun, an intense vertical scrolling shooter, making its debut on the Saturn after its successful run in arcades. Known for its predecessor status to the bullet hell genre, the game promises screens filled with enemy fire and powerful player attacks. Players can choose from 3 distinct ship types, each offering a different style of offense with their unique shots and bombs, which power up significantly as you progress. The Saturn version is set to include original modes alongside the arcade perfect rendition, plus adjustable sound and difficulty options. The story sets the stage with a rebel force challenging the government and a special task force dispatched to confront them, leading to large-scale battles. This port was highly anticipated among SHMUP fans, bringing an arcade classic home. This page dives deep into the upcoming Sega Saturn networking features, highlighting everything players can expect as the service is set to launch within a week. It emphasizes the simplicity of connecting, primarily just plugging in the modem and a phone line. The page outlines the core services available: X-Band for competitive online fighting game matches, Habitat 2 for a unique virtual city social experience, and general internet access for browsing and information. X-Band is shown with a screenshot of a fighting game character selection screen, promising long-distance battles. Habitat 2 is depicted with vibrant screenshots of its virtual world, Elysium, and character customization options at a boutique, where players can transform their avatars and interact using gestures and currency called tokens. The page also confirms that essential features like sending email and chat are supported across the network services. Basic networking terms are explained for newcomers, and details regarding usage fees for services like NiftyServe and Habitat 2 are mentioned, ensuring players are informed about costs. The overall tone is excitement for bringing online connectivity and social interaction to the Saturn. This page continues the discussion on the Sega Saturn network service, shifting focus to general internet browsing and accessing specific content. It highlights how the network makes accessing the internet simple, suggesting that a provided map, likely on a CryDROM included with the service, helps users casually surf the web and find information. This map acts as a directory, including sections like the Yellow Pages for finding different types of content. The page also briefly touches on the operational procedures and connection steps, mentioning how the Saturn controller can be used for navigation and the ease of the online sign-up process, even listing supporting providers available in Japan at the time. A significant portion of the page is dedicated to a list of game company homepages accessible through the network. This extensive list includes URLs and summaries of the content available on each company's site, ranging from corporate information and game news to event details, hiring information, and even specific game content previews. It effectively demonstrates the potential for accessing game-related information directly through the console's online service. Visually, the page features screenshots of the Sega Saturn network's interface, showing navigation elements and directory structures. There's also a large promotional panel for Sega Saturn Fan, possibly the magazine itself, featuring an anime character and text highlighting the Saturn's graphical capabilities and the magazine's release schedule and content. This page dives into the first mission of the Special Saturn project, investigating the expansion RAM cartridge. This peripheral is designed to significantly boost the Saturn's memory, adding 36 MB or even 44 MB when combined with the console's built-in RAM, essentially giving it a power-up for larger games. The main focus is on which upcoming software will utilize this extra memory. Key titles highlighted include Senk's Real Bout Fatal Fury and The King of Fighters 96, both famous fighting games known for their extensive animation and large data requirements. The magazine surveyed various game developers about their plans for the expansion RAM. While SNK is clearly on board, confirming support for the mentioned fighting games and noting how the extra RAM aids in bringing complex arcade titles to the Saturn, Capcom currently states they have no immediate plans but are open to possibilities. A broader survey showed that only a small number of developers had solid plans for the peripheral initially, though some were considering it. An interview with Sega's Hiroshi Kawase confirms the expansion RAM's origins lie in facilitating high-quality arcade conversions, particularly for data-heavy genres like fighting games, making titles like Real Bout Fatal Fury possible. The discussion also touches on the challenge for developers and users regarding the Saturn's cartridge slot, which might be needed for other peripherals like modems. The consensus is that the expansion RAM is crucial for enhancing the Saturn's capability for certain games, particularly fighting game ports, setting a new standard for quality. This page dives into the Saturn's control options, first reviewing the new Virtua Stick, released alongside Virtua Fighter Kids. They compare it to the original stick and introduce the Virtua Stick Pro, an impressive, arcade-equality controller modeled after the panels found in Sega's Astro City cabinets. The Pro is praised for its authentic feel, while the new standard stick is noted as an improvement over the old, but not quite arcade grade. The magazine then investigates the multi-controller, testing its compatibility with games like Wing Arms and Panzer Dragoon 2Y. They find that while Wing Arms works well, Panzer Dragoon 2Y doesn't fully support the analog input. There's a comprehensive breakdown of various input devices available for the Saturn, including different pads, joysticks like the Hori Fighting Stick SS, and even niche items like the ASC2 Pad X. These sections briefly compare features, pros, and cons for each. A performance test measures the continuous fire rate of several devices, showing the Fighting Commander SS and Fighting Stick SS among the top performers. Finally, they test the racing controller, likely the multi-controller, with a series of racing games including Sega Rally Championship, Wangan, Dead Heat, and Grand Chaser. The review finds that using the racing controller significantly enhances the control feel and immersion in these titles, making cornering much more intuitive compared to using a standard digital pad. This page features a prominent advertisement on the left for Destruction Derby on the Sega Saturn, highlighting its impactful crash racing gameplay. On the right, the Conehead Club serves as a community space for Sega Saturn fans to voice their opinions and experiences. This section is filled with reader submissions touching on various aspects of life, from summer plans to their gaming habits and impressions of Saturn hardware. Readers discuss anticipating games like Nights into Dreams and Lunar, share their thoughts on controllers like the Virtua Stick and multi-controller, and even offer interesting comparisons to other console hardware like the PlayStation's DualShock. It provides a lively snapshot of the Saturn fanbase, their favorite games, and the peripherals they used. This page dives deep into reader interaction with several community sections. The Reader's Voice, Theme Talk, focuses on players' most memorable software, featuring discussions on classic titles like Shining Force, praised for its emotional story and strategic depth, alongside other nostalgic games like Final Fantasy. A significant portion is dedicated to a Tokimeki Memorial Fan Special, celebrating the popular dating simulation game. This feature includes reader contributions, fan art showcasing beloved characters such as Shiori Fujisaki and Ayako Katagiri, and comments about their experiences and appreciation for the game and its cast. Below that, the Saturn Fan Mailbag Q&A addresses reader questions, covering various topics from magazine staff introductions to specific game inquiries, including anticipation for titles like Nights into Dreams. It also touches on magazine growth and reader engagement. Finally, the Conehead Club continues, with more reader artwork and commentary, with several submissions also highlighting characters from Tokimeki Memorial, showing the game's popularity among the fanbase. This page showcases a wide range of fan contributions, primarily focusing on artwork and reader comments. The illustration gallery features impressive fan art depicting characters from beloved titles like Nights into Dreams, Panzer Dragoon, Morrigan from Darkstalkers, and characters from the Langrisser series. The AM23 Lab Freak section specifically highlights games developed by Sega's AM2 and AM3 divisions, showcasing vibrant fan art of characters from fighting game hits such as Virtua Fighter, Virtua Fighter Kids, Fighting Vipers, and Last Bronx. It's clear these games had a dedicated and creative fan base. The Conehead Club Extra continues the reader interaction from the previous page, with more submitted illustrations and brief comments reflecting on the Sega Saturn gaming experience. This section touches on various aspects of being a Saturn fan. Finally, a small section on cosplay girls features photos or illustrations related to costume play. And there's a necessary section outlining the rules and mailing address for submitting artwork and contributions to the magazine. The page overall demonstrates the strong connection and creative output of the Sega Saturn community. This page is packed with the latest news and happenings for Sega Saturn fans, covering events, new goods, exciting game topics, and even a present giveaway. First up, Hudson is taking their Bomb Pit 96 event tour nationwide for Saturn Bomberman, promising intense 10-player battles across 31 locations. It sounds like a chowdick good time. For fighting game fans, a strategy video for Last Bronx is highlighted, breaking down character moves and tactics. Essential viewing for mastering the arcades or the home port. There's also a look at Dai Undokai, a unique schoolgirl training simulation game, notable for its impressive lineup of voice actors, featuring prominent talents lending their voices to the game's characters. A campaign for the puzzle game, Nu Kururin Pa, is announced, offering prizes for players who can solve its challenging puzzles. Perhaps the biggest news is the grand opening of Tokyo Joyopolis, Sega's massive indoor amusement park in Odaiba. The page showcases some of the exciting attractions available, like the high-speed Rare Chase the Ride coaster and the immersive Power Seed simulator. Finally, there's a section detailing a reader-present giveaway with items like a Tenchi Muyo art book and a Pro Controller up for grabs, alongside a list of winners from a previous giveaway. The page covers a lot of ground, keeping players informed about new releases, events, and community activities. This page presents a comprehensive database of every Sega Saturn game released up to July 12, 1996. Tallying a total of 292 titles. The magazine has organized this extensive list by genre for easier navigation, and introduced a section analyzing popular software based on age group support. The editorial notes highlight the Saturn's growing library, aiming for 400 titles by year-end, and express hope for more RPGs. A handy key explains abbreviations for Saturn peripherals, like the shuttle mouse and multi-controller. The popular software section reveals which age demographics favor top titles, like Virtua Fighter 2, Night Warriors, Darkstalkers Revenge, and Street Fighter Alpha. Following this, detailed lists break down the library by genre, including role-playing, simulation, fighting action, and adventure games. Each entry provides key data such as the publisher, release date, price, peripheral compatibility, target age group, an overall score, and its historical ranking, offering a valuable snapshot of the Saturn's diverse game catalog at the time. This page continues the extensive Sega Saturn game database, expanding into diverse genres like shooting, sports, racing, puzzle, table games, mahjong, education/database, and other. Much like the previous page, each entry provides key details such as the software number, game title, publisher, release date, price, backup data size, compatible peripherals, target age, overall score, and historical ranking. The shooting section highlights iconic Saturn titles like Panzer Dragoon, Gungriffon, Darius Gaiden, and Layer section, showcasing the console's strength in the genre. Sports covers titles like NFL Quarterback Club and Decathlete. Racing is well represented with Sega Rally Championship, Daytona USA, and Manx TT Superbike, titles that were critical hits for the platform. The other sections list various puzzle games, mahjong simulators, educational software, and a diverse other category, which includes entries like the Virtua Fighter CG Portrait Series and the popular arcade port Virtua Cop. The database serves as a vital resource for Saturn owners and prospective buyers, offering a detailed snapshot of the console's library up to July 1996 across a broad spectrum of gaming experiences. This page shifts focus from the game database to provide a crucial resource for Saturn owners. Contact information for software manufacturers. Titled, All Manufacturer Contact Information, it addresses the common situation of something strange with the software at times like that, and presents a comprehensive list of companies. The main content is a large table detailing how to reach publishers and developers if you encounter issues with your games. For each company, it provides phone and fax numbers, sometimes an address, the specific department to contact, often user support, their operating hours, and other notes. These notes include important details like whether they answer strategy questions, usually not, acceptable inquiry methods, phone, mail, and specific conditions for mail inquiries, like needing return postage. There's also a helpful section offering tips for inquiries, advising users on the best way to contact manufacturers. It emphasizes confirming the nature of the problem before calling, understanding that game strategy questions are typically not answered, and providing clear instructions for mail inquiries. This resource page is vital for troubleshooting software problems, highlighting the support infrastructure available to Saturn players back in the day. The next page is all about the reader questionnaire and a chance to win some awesome prizes. It's titled, Answer the Questionnaire and Receive a Present, and details how you can score some free stuff just by telling the magazine about yourself and your gaming habits. The headline prizes include copies of hot Sega Saturn games like Virtua Fighter Kids, Langrisser 2i, Shining the Holy Ark, Cyberdoll, Gekisatsu Pachinko Cars, and Big Hurt Baseball, with 5 winners for each game. Plus, there are 70 chances to win an exclusive Saturn Fan original phone card. The questionnaire dives into your background, asking about your school or job, age, gender, and what other magazines you read. It also wants your take on the current issue, asking which articles you found most and least interesting, referencing lists of articles provided on the page. You're also asked about the games you own, want, and recently played. Drawing from extensive lists of Saturn software and hardware, also included here. There's even a section to rate games you own on a simple scale. To enter, you fill out a postcard with your details, the answers to the questions, and which prize you're hoping to snag. Clear instructions are given on how to fill out the postcard correctly to ensure it can be read by a computer system, emphasizing using numeric characters and writing clearly within the boxes. It's a great way for the magazine to connect with its readership and reward loyal fans. This page dives into the Key Persons Network, offering a look at what's happening across various Sega divisions. It provides quick updates from departments like multimedia, overseas consumer, toy, internet promotion, and different R&D groups. You get insights into projects ranging from new communication software and overseas game releases like Knights and Saturn Netlink, to toy development based on popular IPs like Virtua Fighter and Sonic. The Internet Promotion Team discusses launching online services and games, while the R&D sections touch on developing new game genres, hardware design, and bringing arcade hits like Virtua Fighter 3, Sega Rally, and Last Bronx to consoles. The main highlight is a feature on Dracula Detective, known in Japan as Jiku Tante DD. It's described as a 3D adventure game, where you play as a detective with vampire-like abilities. The article provides a prologue, teasing the game's premise, set in 1939, involving a request from a young girl and a journey aboard a phantom airship called the Lorelei. Screenshots show scenes from the game, emphasizing the character designs and environments. The content here gives a sense of Sega's diverse activities beyond just console game development, covering their reach into online services, toys, and arcade ports, all while promoting an intriguing new adventure title. The next page dives deeper into Dracula Detective, focusing on the gameplay mechanics and characters aboard the phantom airship Lorelei. It explains that investigation relies heavily on gathering information and utilizing items, and the protagonist Dud's unique abilities efficiently. Movement through the ship is presented via smooth, cinematic sequences. The page highlights specific investigation points, items like the visiphone, used for communication and saving, and key consumables that restore Dud's power. It details Dud's special space memory ability, allowing him to perceive past events in a location, which is crucial for solving mysteries. The article introduces the main characters encountered, including DD himself, his partner Rennie, and various passengers, providing their portraits. There's also a helpful layout of the Lorelei's A and B decks, showing where characters and important rooms are located. The guide reassures players that hints are available if they get stuck, making the adventure more accessible. This page provides a solid introduction to the core gameplay loop, character roster, and investigative tools available in Dracula Detective as you track down the elusive drive cult on the mysterious airship. This page details the gameplay mechanics and characters of Dracula Detective aboard the airship Lorelei. This page serves as an introduction to Dracula Detective, a CG cinematic adventure game from ASC2Soft for the Sega Saturn. The scene is set in the 23rd century, where time travel exists but is highly controlled. Our protagonist is DD, a time-space detective known for solving temporal crimes. The narrative kicks off when DD takes on a case from a young woman, Leni Laval, who is searching for her missing father, a brilliant scientist. This investigation leads DD and his partner, Rennie Eisman, onto the colossal airship Lorelei, which has mysteriously traveled back in time to 1939 Germany, just before World War II. The page features striking images of the airship and character portraits of DD and Rennie Eisman, highlighting their roles in this conspiracy-laden journey into the past. This page provides a detailed look at Dracula Detective, known in Japan as Jiku Tante DD Mabaroshi no Lorelei, a CG cinematic adventure game for the Sega Saturn. Building on the previous page's introduction, this spread emphasizes the game's presentation, promising an adventure experienced like watching a movie through realistic polygon visuals. Key features highlighted include super realistic 3D graphics using CG movies, powerful and immersive BGM and sound effects, and a thrilling story that keeps players engaged until the very end. The game also boasts a voice cast, with famous voice actors lending their talents to the characters, and a special ending theme song. The page showcases several character portraits, providing glimpses into the individuals players will encounter aboard the airship Lorelei, including Leni Laval, Richard Strasser, Karin Strasser, Matsuo Palasconi, Maria Helsing, Werner Schmidt, and Erwin Gruntz. The game was set to release on Friday, July 26, 1996, priced at 6,800 yen, excluding tax, as a 2-disc Crodrom set, and was also releasing simultaneously for the PlayStation. This page dives into the Saturn Soft Impressions section, highlighting reviews for 9 different titles. According to the reviewers, the Saturn market is still lively, featuring a lineup this time with some unique and quirky games, although slightly smaller than previous issues. The reviews are conducted by 10 different reviewers, each bringing their own perspective, resulting in an average score of 5.8 points for the batch. The games reviewed include titles like Gameware Volume 2, Time Detectives DD, Legend of Lorelei, Road Blaster, Virtua Fighter Kids, Cyberbots, Full Metal Madness, Big Hurt Baseball, Geeky 2PA Chinkers, Body Special 264, and Tetris Plus. Individual impressions note Gameware Volume 2 as a collection offering good value and interesting content, while Time Detectives DD is praised for its cinematic atmosphere, despite some comments on pacing. The page also includes previews for upcoming reviews. Saturn Bomberman is teased, highlighting its ability to support up to 10 players simultaneously and introducing new characters and features. Night Ruth, a horror-adventure game, is previewed, emphasizing its use of famous voice actors to enhance the atmospheric experience. The reviewer's general impression is that while the lineup might be smaller, it contains some intriguing titles worth checking out. This page reviews several Sega Saturn games. Road Rash, a motorcycle racer, is enjoyable but content-limited, scoring 6.5. Virtua Fighter Kids, a chibi fighting game, earns a strong 7.6 for its accessibility and engaging gameplay. Cyberbots, Full Metal Madness, a mech fighter, receives a 6.4 for its unique combat and world. Big Hurt Baseball disappoints with slow gameplay and unresponsive controls, receiving a low 4.9. Additionally, the page announces new Saturn network peripherals releasing July 27th, a modem kit for internet access, including NiftyServe compatibility, a keyboard for text input, and a floppy disk drive for data saving and backups. This page dives into more varied Saturn titles. First up is Gekitotsu Pachinko Cars, a pachinko simulator that aims to show the harsh side of being a pro player. While it features realistic machines and presentation, the reviewers found it a bit niche and perhaps not overly engaging, giving it a 5.1. Next we have Body Special 264, which is essentially a jigsaw puzzle game featuring popular Japanese idols. The core gameplay is basic and traditional, but the appeal lies entirely in the inclusion of the featured women. It scored a 6.6, noted as being primarily for fans of the idols. Tetris Plus brings the classic puzzle game to the Saturn with new modes, including an enjoyable arcade mode. The controls are simple, and the added challenge modes offer good replayability. Reviewers found it a solid entry in the series and recommended it for puzzle fans, resulting in a 7.2 score. Finally, Jikutante DD, a time travel adventure game, is reviewed. The game features voice acting and character designs that were appreciated, though some noted the movement and gameplay felt a bit awkward. The premise of traveling back to the age of dinosaurs seems interesting, and it received a 7.5. This page announces the Japan Game of the Year 1996 awards, a major reader-voted project spearheaded by a collaboration of 17 prominent Japanese gaming magazines. The initiative aimed to highlight the most popular and impactful games released in Japan between April 1, 1995 and March 31, 1996, based purely on reader feedback. Readers were asked to vote for their favorites across several categories: the coveted Grand Prix for the overall best game, a semi-Grand Prix for the runner-up, and special awards recognizing innovation: Fresh Award, Exceptional Graphics, Visual Award, and Outstanding Music and Sound Design, Sound Award. The sheer scale of the nominated titles is impressive, featuring hundreds of games released across all major platforms of the era, including the Sega Saturn, PlayStation, Super Famicom, PCFX, and more. This list is a veritable who's who of mid-90s Japanese gaming, encompassing legendary titles like Resident Evil, Sakura Wars, Street Fighter Alpha, Virtua Fighter 2, Panzer Dragoon, Ridge Racer Revolution, Final Fantasy VI, likely a re-release or compilation, Super Mario RPG, Donkey Kong Country 2, and a host of other classics spanning RPGs, fighters, shooters, adventure games, and more. The voting period concluded on July 31, 1996, with the results slated for announcement starting in September 1996 across the participating magazines, offering a fascinating snapshot of what resonated most with Japanese gamers during this vibrant period. This page announces that the magazine Virtual Idol focused on beautiful girl characters and their voice actors, is finally transitioning to a monthly publication. Starting with the next issue, it will be released on the 22nd of each month, promising speedy and timely information on related games, radio shows, events, and crudes, with enhanced content. The September issue is highlighted, featuring titles like Dokusei 2, Tokimeki Memorial, Sentimental Graffiti, Galaxy Fraulein Yuna SS, Dragon Knight, and Goddess Paradise 2. It also lists voice actors appearing, including Mariko Kuda, Tomo Sakurai, Hisako Inoue, and others. The right side offers a valuable bonus: a CD jacket featuring character art of Nozomi Kiyokawa from Tokimeki Memorial. This section provides basic details about the game and describes Kiyokawa. It also includes a guide on how to use the jacket and a list detailing effective conversation choices during dates with Kiyokawa within the game. This page continues the guide for Tokimeki Memorial on the left, detailing effective dating strategies and conversation choices for the character Nozomi Kiyokawa at various in-game locations, accompanied by character artwork. The main focus shifts to Decare Athlete on the right, a comprehensive guide to the 10-event sports game. It breaks down the game's 8 athletes by ability type: all-around, jumping, throwing, and track and field. The analysis helps players choose the ideal character depending on their goal, whether chasing a world record in a specific event like the javelin, shown in a screenshot, or aiming for a high score across all 10 disciplines. Screenshots showcase the character selection screen and gameplay. This page dives deep into the mechanics of decathletes events, offering pro tips for the 100 meters dash, 400 meters race, long jump, shot put, and high jump. For the sprints, it highlights the importance of balancing rapid button presses with precise timing, especially for the start and maintaining rhythm, and shows the controller grip needed for mashing those buttons. The 400 meters race section details how to manage stamina over different segments of the race, illustrated by screenshots showing different lines to run to conserve energy or push for speed at key points. The jumping and throwing events, including long jump, shot put, and high jump, emphasize the crucial interplay of building run-up speed or power and then hitting the correct angle and timing for release or takeoff, with dedicated sections explaining the optimal controller technique for each discipline. The guide stresses that mastering both brute force rapid input and nuanced timing is key to achieving top scores across these varied track and field challenges. This page continues the expert guide to decathlete, breaking down the strategies for several more events. It covers the 110 meters hurdles, stressing that fear isn't an option, and success requires precise timing for jumps while balancing button mashing for speed, showing the required controller grip for both actions. The discus throw section highlights that correct timing is everything, detailing how to build power by spinning the direction keys and when to release for optimal distance and angle. The pole vault guide dives into arguably the most difficult event, emphasizing the critical timing for the run-up, pole plant, and release to clear the bar, again illustrating the specific controller technique. Finally, the 1,500 meters race strategy focuses on pacing and crucial stamina management, showing different lines or positions on the track to run, depending on your current stamina level and when to unleash the final sprint. The decathlon overview section provides general tips for tackling all 10 events together, reinforcing the need to master the unique demands of each discipline, from button-mashing endurance to nuanced timing inputs, to achieve a high overall score in this comprehensive track and field challenge. This page provides a deep dive into the ranking mode of Saturn Bomberman, encouraging players to aim for mastery. It specifically focuses on strategies for conquering the first 12 floors of Bombast Temple. The guide kicks off with tips for the first floor, emphasizing item collection like bomb up and fire up, and a key technique point strategy, using multiple bombs simultaneously to defeat groups of enemies. The third floor strategy highlights utilizing enemy properties, suggesting players group enemies together after they become temporarily invincible from an initial blast, then finish them off with another bomb. Key items found here include roller skates for speed, hearts for health, and the invincibility suit. The fourth floor introduces a boss, the Gum Bomb, a formidable foe that throws explosive rubber bombs. The expert advice here is to lure the gum bomb near its own thrown bombs and detonate them, damaging the boss when its head is vulnerable after the explosion. The guide also details how to earn technique points for ranking, awarded for skillful play such as destroying multiple enemies with a single bomb, using items effectively, and clearing stages quickly or without taking damage. Various items are explained, including those that boost your bombs, range, speed, or grant special abilities like the power kick or remote bomb. This page continues the comprehensive strategy guide for Saturn Bomberman's ranking mode in Bombast Temple, covering floors 5 through 12. It provides essential tips for maximizing technique points and achieving high scores. For floors 5 through 7, the guide details tactics involving using bombs to strategically trap enemies, utilizing key items like the bomb kick and power glove for precise bomb placement, and timing throws to clear out foes efficiently. It warns against carelessly destroying soft blocks, which can allow enemies to escape and cost valuable time. The guide then introduces the boss of Floor 8, a formidable opponent where proper timing and bomb placement are crucial to deal damage and earn technique points by trapping multiple enemies. Floors 9 through 11 focus on navigating complex layouts with many soft blocks, emphasizing route control, and using items like the fire suit for protection. The strategy for Floor 11 highlights the importance of the remote bomb item, detailing the optimal path to retrieve it and quickly destroy generators to progress. Finally, the guide covers the Floor 12 boss, Junkie, describing his erratic, drunken attack pattern and advising players to trap him with bombs during vulnerable moments to defeat him and rack up points. A best record section encourages aiming for high scores and fast clear times, particularly focusing on earning technique points on specific earlier floors and by effectively trapping bosses. This page offers a comprehensive strategy guide for the idle raising simulation game, Producer Debut. The guide focuses on the path to winning the prestigious Idle Grand Prize, highlighting the critical role of managing your idle's parameters. It details how these stats change through various lessons and emphasizes the negative impact of poor conditions like illness or stress, urging players to prioritize their idle's well-being. A significant portion covers the importance of month-end jobs and rival battles for boosting popularity, a key factor for success. The guide strategically advises players on winning rival battles, as this can even force competitors into a temporary hiatus. Specific tips are provided for various jobs and challenges, including photo shoots, recording sessions, concerts, movie filming, and competitive events like quizzes and dance battles, outlining the essential parameters needed for each to ensure your idle shines and climbs the ranks. This page continues the strategy guide for Producer Debut, diving deeper into the game's second year and, most importantly, revealing the various character endings. It outlines key events in Year 2, detailing necessary parameters for success in challenges like rival battles, local jobs testing common sense, CM filming needing specific skills, TV drama appearances requiring acting skill and popularity, and the ultimate goal, the Idle Grand Prize, which hinges on overall popularity. The major focus is on the extensive list of individual endings achievable, categorized by career paths like idol, singer, actress, model, wrestler, and even marriage, or becoming a sister, nun. For each path, the guide specifies the critical parameters that need to be high, such as vocal ability, charm, acting skill, self-confidence, or physical stats like HP, giving players clear goals. It also hints at some less conventional, other endings, including alternative careers like hostess, police officer, or even stranger fates like becoming a stuffed toy, highlighting the diverse possibilities beyond standard idle success. Screenshots illustrate key gameplay moments like rival confrontations, drama filming, and the final awards ceremony, alongside character art showing some of the unique ending visuals. This page features a strategy guide for the Sega Saturn adventure game, Getsuka Mugentan Toriko, focusing on the Bad Omen chapter. It provides a step-by-step walkthrough to help players complete this section of the game. The guide outlines how to acquire essential items like oil and wheat flour to open a path through an underground passage. It details interactions with characters such as Mac, the clockmaker, Morse, and Antoine to obtain these items, including trading a watch for oil and finding flour at a windmill. The guide then covers the process of finding and refining a final crucial item, red earth, found in a burnt house. Finally, it explains how to use the oil, flour, and red earth to overcome obstacles in the underground passage and reach the next area, known as the Moon Town. Screenshots throughout the page illustrate key locations, characters, items, and actions required to progress through the chapter. This page provides a detailed strategy guide for Puzzle Bobble 2X, known internationally as Bust-A-Move 2. It's a comprehensive breakdown covering everything from basic controls and handling the unique physics of the game to advanced techniques for clearing bubbles efficiently and strategies for competitive play. The guide emphasizes precise aiming and understanding how the ceiling lowers over time. It explains different types of special bubbles like star bubbles, and obstacle bubbles, and their effects. Techniques for clearing bubbles in various situations, such as using ricochets or dealing with garbage bubbles, are illustrated with screenshots. A major focus is on competitive battles, detailing how to attack opponents by sending over garbage bubbles, calculating their effect, and effective attack patterns. Example stage layouts are shown to demonstrate high-scoring possibilities and strategic clearing. This page is essential reading for anyone wanting to master Bust-A-Move 2 and dominate in versus matches. This page dives deep into the advanced combat mechanics of Fatal Fury 3, Road to the Final Victory, specifically focusing on combination arts and linking moves. It explains that combination arts are simple, easy to execute combos using straightforward button presses, although they deal less damage and can be easily blocked if the first hit doesn't connect. The real strategy lies in linking normal attacks into special moves. The guide emphasizes canceling a normal attack the moment it hits the opponent, and immediately inputting the command for a special move. This requires precise timing, and a key tip is to prepare the directional input for the special move during the animation of the preceding normal attack, such as while jumping or crouching. The page includes a list of character commands, detailing the inputs for various special moves and combination arts for a wide roster, including Terry Bogard, Andy Bogard, Joe Higashi, Mai Shiranui, Geese Howard, Blue Mary, Franco Bash, Ryuji Yamazaki, and the Jin brothers, Chonrei and Chonshu. Multiple screenshots illustrate practical examples of these linked combos for several characters, showing the sequence of attacks and providing tactical advice on execution and timing. This section is essential for mastering the advanced linking techniques that are crucial for competitive play in Fatal Fury 3. This page offers a complete strategy guide for the final adventure in Sword and Sorcery, focusing on conquering Findercycle Castle and the ultimate boss encounters. It stresses the importance of leveling characters significantly before facing D Shadow, the initial final boss, suggesting the use of powerful magic and special abilities. The guide warns of Death Shadow's potent magical attacks. Following this, the true final challenge is the formidable Blackwing. The strategy for Blackwing emphasizes carefully timed healing and unleashing the most powerful magic and special moves from characters like Lucian and Kanekon. The page also provides essential advice for navigating the complex final dungeon itself, pointing out locations for vital items, including hidier weapons, armor, and recovery items. It mentions the frequency of battles here, advising players to manage their MP effectively. Various dangerous monsters are introduced, such as the Horse Knight, Berserker, and Lesser Dragon, alongside unique enemy combinations. A large table provides detailed statistics for many monsters encountered throughout the game, offering valuable data for combat preparation. Finally, the guide briefly mentions the game's ending sequence, indicating that the final scenes follow specific on-screen text. Screenshots throughout the page illustrate dungeon areas, boss battles, and monster designs. The next page introduces Cyberdoll, highlighting its place as a prominent cyberpunk RPG. The game's narrative is driven by a series of interconnected short missions that build towards a larger story arc. Players take on objectives from a central computer, engaging in various activities, from investigation and information gathering to combat. The setting is the complex Zerocity, a sprawling, atmospheric future metropolis divided into unique areas like the Industrial Factory area or the Perilous Dead area. Humanity is threatened by the enigmatic Dark Visitor, DV, which the protagonist's organization, Debugger, is tasked with combating. Character growth involves enhancing the player's capabilities through body modifications and acquiring powerful weaponry. The article outlines the progression through key missions, detailing encounters with important characters, confrontations with criminal elements, dealing with a dangerous resurrected foe, and ultimately pursuing a primary antagonist through a series of challenging battles leading to a final confrontation. Expect strategic boss fights, concluding many missions, requiring careful preparation and use of powerful items. Cyberdoll's combat system revolves around 8 commands: attack, S, arms, special attacks, items, move, search for enemy information, pass, escape, and give up. Game over. A strategic element is the destructible body part system. Enemies have heads, bodies, arms, and legs, each with individual health. Targeting specific body parts can cripple enemies, hindering movement or attacks. Damage to critical areas results in defeat. Combat occurs on a side-scrolling screen, influencing weapon ranges. Weapon types include point target, specific part, all target, multiple parts, and random attacks. Success demands mastering weapon ranges, targeting weaknesses, and understanding the consequences of part damage which also affects loot acquisition. This page features a preview of the mystery adventure game, Night Truth. Explanation of the paranormal. The game centers around 5 high school students who delve into mysteries rooted in supernatural phenomena. A key highlight is the use of full voice acting for the extensive dialogue scenes, contributing to the immersive experience. The game features a multi-scenario system where player choices significantly impact the story's progression and lead to different outcomes. The preview introduces one such scenario, beginning with the investigation of a mysterious death at the school that quickly escalates into strange events the protagonists must uncover. The main cast consists of 5 distinct characters: Mao Minazuki, Toshihide Tokiwa, Nami Shitara, Ai Himekawa, and Ryoko Minazuki. Each possesses unique personality traits and abilities crucial to navigating the game's challenges, from martial arts and intuition to knowledge of the occult. The game also features a vibrant anime opening sequence showcasing these core characters. This page features 2 distinct games, Tetris Plus and a pachinko slot simulation title. Tetris Plus takes the classic block-dropping formula and adds a unique puzzle mode where players guide a character, the professor, down through challenging levels by clearing blocks to avoid traps and navigate obstacles. It also includes the standard normal mode for pure Tetris action and an edit mode, allowing players to create their own custom puzzles. Screenshots showcase the character and traps in the puzzle mode alongside traditional Tetris gameplay. The other game is a pachinko and slot simulator that brings the excitement of the arcades home. It simulates 8 different popular machines, offering various modes. Players can delve into strategy and research modes to understand winning patterns and machine mechanics, or enjoy a story mode that incorporates elements like earning money and interacting with characters. Screenshots display the detailed simulation of the different pachinko and slot machines available in the game. This page covers 2 distinct sports titles. First up is Frank Thomas's Big Hurt Baseball, a baseball simulation game endorsed by and featuring Chicago White Sox slugger Frank Thomas. The game focuses on delivering a realistic experience using real MLB player data and stats from 1995. Players can control pitching with various curveballs and changes of speed, and batting with precise timing and direction. It includes multiple modes to simulate a full season experience, from practice and exhibition games to season play, the All-Star Game, and the playoffs, allowing players to compete for the championship. Real Major League superstars appear with their authentic names and likenesses. The second game featured is WrestleMania, the arcade game. This is a port of the popular arcade fighter that brings the over-the-top, combo-heavy action of WWF wrestling home. Featuring 8 prominent WWF superstars, the game emphasizes outrageous special moves and the ability to string together powerful combos to defeat opponents. Players can compete in different championship modes, battling their way through the roster to claim the title. The 8 wrestlers include Doink the Clown, Razor Ramon, The Undertaker, Yokozuna, Shawn Michaels, Bam Bam Bigelow, Bret Hart, and Lex Luger. It's a frantic, arcade-style take on professional wrestling. This page showcases 2 multimedia Xydrom releases focused on Japanese idols. First up is Body Special Volume 2, Girls in Motion Puzzle, a unique puzzle game. Players solve jigsaw puzzles using either motion video clips or still images of 3 featured idols: Akari Kinuchi, Chihiro Matsuda, and Akiko Hori. The game offers solo modes like Movie Puzzle and Puzzle Club, as well as a competitive idol versus battle mode where players race against an idol, utilizing items for an advantage. The game leverages the Saturn's capabilities to bring these idols to life in interactive puzzles. Next is Private Idol Volume 1, featuring Idol Yu Kinoshita. This Xydrom is presented more like a fan disc, offering a substantial collection of photos and videos. It includes various photo galleries categorized into private, outdoor, and studio shots, giving fans diverse looks at Yu Kinoshita. The video content features her self-introduction and other image videos. There's also an interactive compete section related to her signature phrase, adding a playful element for fans. It's a pure idol entertainment package focused on showcasing her charm and visuals. This page delves into the world of Ultech, or hidden tricks and commands, packed into popular Sega Saturn titles, promising features that even surpass arcade versions. The main focus is on Idol Janshi Tsuchipai 2, highlighting 7 major hidden commands. These include accessing stage select and unlocking characters, manipulating items and forcing wins during matches, and even unlocking Missouri's room for free play and viewing character endings. The page showcases screenshots of the Mahjong gameplay and character interactions, emphasizing the depth of these hidden features. Beyond Suchipai 2, the article covers Ultec for other games. In Wizardry Vi and V2 Complete, you can sell items at significantly higher prices. Dragon Ball Z. Great Dragon Ball Legend features a hidden sound test mode. Kingdom Grand Prix surprisingly has an added shooting mode, accessible through a specific button sequence on the options screen. For the King of Fighters 95, players can actually change the special move commands. Cubic Gallery lets you add more puzzles, and Aero Fighter Special offers the ability to change your fighter type. It's clear these hidden tricks provide substantial new ways to experience these diverse games. This page focuses heavily on the impending release of Virtua Fighter 3, highlighting that it's in the final stages of development and rapidly approaching. A key feature is an interview with character modeling designer Mika Kojima, who discusses the creation of the stunning CG models and the new costumes for the game's characters, including the detailed work on outfits like the kimono. She mentions that about 70% of the main player character models are complete, and touches on the design process and updates from previous iterations. Continuing the theme from the previous page, new Ultec, or hidden tricks, are revealed for several other games. Players can discover special commands in games such as Blackfire and Hyper Reverthion, access fun name entry features in Gradius Deluxe Pack, find unique items in Gulliver Boy, and even encounter a surprising referee appearance in Victory Goal 96. The magazine also includes a call for reader submissions, asking fans to send in their own discoveries and opinions about Sega games. This page continues the deep dive into Virtua Fighter 3, following up on the previous page's interview, and focusing on the wealth of new information obtained as the game becomes playable. It reiterates updates on character costumes, mentioning progress on models for fighters like Akioe, Pai, Akira, Labao and the others, with several designs reaching their final stages, like Jeffrey's white bomber jacket, or Jackie's updated look. The biggest news is the technical evolution, highlighted by the move to a 4-button control scheme. Joining guard, punch, and kick is a new 4th button dedicated to a kawashi or evade maneuver, fundamentally changing the combat system and allowing for nuanced defensive movements. The article also reveals a dramatic evolution in stage design, introducing significant elevation changes and walls, which were absent in previous games. Screenshots showcase stages with varying heights and boundaries, indicating these environmental features will play a crucial role in strategy and ring-outs, pushing the series forward with realistic battlegrounds. The magazine expresses sheer excitement over these revelations, and promises even more astonishing details in the next issue. This page dives into the highly anticipated arcades release of The King of Fighters 96. The magazine is buzzing with excitement, presenting the latest details on this massive fighting game right as it arrives. The main focus is on the wealth of new systems and the incredible roster changes. KOKUF 96 introduces crucial gameplay mechanic tweaks like the emergency evasion and the guard attack, adding layers of strategic defense and offense. Other system updates include improved jump control and changes to the power gauge mechanics, promising a faster, more dynamic fight. The character lineup is massive, featuring a total of 9 teams. We see the debut of the menacing boss team featuring Geese Howard, Wolfgang Krauser, and Mr. Big. The Akari Warriors team gets a new member, Leona Heidern, joining Ralph and Clark. Yuri Sakazaki moves over to team up with Ryo Sakazaki and Robert Garcia in the Art of Fighting team, while Mai Shiranui and King are joined by Chizuru Kagura for a new female fighters team. Yori Yagami returns with his terrifying teammates Vice and Mature. Fan favorites like the Fatal Fury team, Psycho Soldier team, and the main protagonist team led by Kyo Kusanagi are also confirmed to return. The page showcases character art and in-game screenshots highlighting the updated visuals and new stages. The article emphasizes the sheer scale and impact of these changes, calling it a true festival of fighting games for the year. It also mentions that a Saturn port is already planned. This page provides a sneak peek at several upcoming titles in the Coming Soon section. First up is Night in the Moonlight, King Dragon Battle, a shogi game based on the popular manga. It allows players to experience the story of the manga protagonist while learning shogi, or simply dive into matches against the various characters featured. The game includes profiles of key figures and screenshots showing the game board and character interactions. Next, Battle Athletes Daiundukai Josho is introduced as a simulation game focused on athletic competitions. The player takes on the role of the coach for the main character, Akari Kanzaki, guiding her through events like skydiving and obstacle courses. The page features vibrant character art for Akari, her friends, family, and rivals, along with screenshots depicting the athletic events. Finally, Starfighter 3000 takes center stage, presenting itself as a 3D shooting simulation set in the year 3037. Players pilot the latest Starfighter model, undertaking missions in both space and planetary environments. The game emphasizes simulation elements, featuring objectives like docking with a mothership, and highlighting the ability to interact with and destroy elements within the environment. Screenshots showcase the diverse settings and gameplay perspectives. Upcoming releases include a variety of titles. Ultraman, Legend of the Giant is a fighting game emphasizing scale, featuring destructible 3D stages and iconic characters. Destruction Derby offers chaotic stock car racing focused on wrecking opponents in arena-style environments. Puradol Disc Volume 2, starring Miki Uchiyama, is a digital gravure title providing photo collections and content. Finally, 3D Ultra Pinball reimagines the classic game with a space-themed, CG-crafted pinball experience, enhanced by a 3D perspective and unique gameplay elements like an expert help feature. This page showcases several upcoming Sega Saturn titles, including Battle Arena to Shinden Yura, Gal's Panic SS, Warriors of Fate, Mighty Hits, and a collection featuring over 20 minigames. This page presents a collection of upcoming Sega Saturn games. First up is Shinryu, a hardcore vertical scrolling shooter making the leap from arcades, featuring intense bullet patterns and large boss encounters like the giant owl shown. Following is Magical Drop 2, the sequel to the popular puzzle game, bringing new modes and characters alongside the addictive color-matching gameplay. For fans of strategy and tabletop games, Mahjong Taikai 2 special offers matches against a quirky roster of historical and fictional figures with expressive faces. The page also features Worms, the classic turn-based strategy game where teams of worms battle it out across destructible landscapes using a wild arsenal. Finally, there's Thunder Force Gold Pack 1, compiling 3 iconic installments of the acclaimed shooter series, showcasing the varied perspectives from top-down in Thunder Force 2 to side-scrolling in Thunder Force 2i. There's also a preview of the impressive opening movie for Thunder Force V, highlighting the sleek Styzix ship and epic space battles, promising a cinematic experience. The content reflects excitement for diverse genres arriving on the Saturn. This page features previews for several upcoming Sega Saturn titles across different genres. First, we see Shinrei Jusatsushi Taromaru, a unique-looking side-scrolling action game set in the Edo period, with a heavy emphasis on intense boss encounters, showcasing a variety of intimidating foes like a giant snake and a frog-like creature. Next is Mezase Idol Star Natsuhiro Memories, Mahjong Hen, which combines the popular Japanese game of Mahjong with an idol-raising simulation, featuring profiles and pictures of the 8 girls you can train through gameplay. Finally, there's a substantial preview of World Heroes Perfect, the latest installment of the arcade fighting series ported to the Saturn. The review highlights the game's distinctive mechanics like the guard break attack and hero gauge, and details improvements made for the Saturn release. These include simplified commands, the easy availability of secret characters like Zeus and Son Goku right from the start, and substantial bonus content such as a detailed character file and a graphic collection mode, making this port seem like a feature-rich version for fans. The next page previews a diverse lineup of upcoming Sega Saturn releases. Dive into the idol world with Angel Paradise Volume 2. Go to Hawaii, where your interactions with Sayaka Yoshino influence the story as you explore Hawaii. A high school romance simulation, Diary, lets you connect with exchange students and build relationships. Fans of anime will recognize Mysterious Thief Saint Tail, an adventure game adapting the series where you balance a normal school life with daring heists as the titular thief, featuring voice acting from the show and some classic-style minigames. There's also Mahjong 4 Sisters, Tale of Young Grass, bringing characters from the manga/anime to the Mahjong table with lively graphics. Rounding out the previews are brief mentions of other titles like Mortal Kombat Trilogy and a shooting game, along with news on game title changes and delays. The page finishes by highlighting limited edition goods available at the Tokyo Game Show '96. This page provides a comprehensive report on the status of many highly anticipated Sega Saturn titles currently in development. The grid format showcases various genres, from RPGs like the popular Sakura Wars and Lunar, Silver Star Story and the strategic Mysteria, the realms of Lore 2 and Langrisser 2i, to fighting games such as Real Bout Fatal Fury, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Fighting Vipers, Battle Arena to Shindenura, and the exciting Dead or Alive. It also features action games like Virtua Cop 2 and Assault Suits Lenos 2, adventure titles like Policenauts and Enemy Zero, and unique entries like Cybertroopers Virtualon, and the upcoming Sonic the Fighters. The reports often highlight the progress of graphics, new gameplay systems, and developer comments, giving readers insight into how close these games are to release, and what makes them exciting. Titles like Dark Savior and Ogre Battle, The March of the Black Queen also get status updates, confirming development is proceeding well for many key releases. This page lays out a comprehensive release calendar for the Sega Saturn, detailing a rapid-fire schedule of upcoming titles from July onwards, including many still awaiting final dates. It truly highlights the momentum the Saturn gained, showcasing a massive influx of games across every genre imaginable. We're talking everything from major fighting game powerhouses like Street Fighter Alpha 2 and Marvel Superheroes, to critically acclaimed RPGs such as Sakura Wars and Tokimeki Memorial. The list goes deep, featuring sports games, racing titles like Road Rash, adventure games like Resident Evil, and action hits like Mega Man X4. It's clear Sega was pulling out all the stops, bringing a diverse range of experiences to the console. Looking through this, you get a real sense of the sheer volume of high-quality software hitting the market in a relatively short period. There's also a small section listing releases for the Game Gear, showing continued, albeit limited, support for the handheld. Overall, this calendar underscores a period of intense activity and growth for the Saturn library. This page announces the release date for the next issue of Sega Saturn Fan and teases upcoming content, featuring illustrations likely related to Virtua Fighter Kids and Knights. The editor's section reflects on recent quality releases like Knights and Virtua Fighter Kids, looking ahead to titles like Deca Athlete and Saturn Bomberman, while also building anticipation for major RPGs coming to the system, including one potentially from a major developer known for RPGs. The majority of the page is dedicated to Cyberdoll, an upcoming RPG for the Sega Saturn from IMAX, slated for release on August 9, 1996. The game is described as a true RPG set in the transformed Zero City, turned into a hellish landscape by a meteorite, where a terrifying demon king has descended. Character designs by Yasushi Asawa are highlighted, and a limited edition premium campaign is detailed, offering a character artwork collection and a chance to win a t-shirt. The page conveys excitement for this dark, story-driven role-playing experience. A game index for the current issue is also present, listing titles reviewed or covered. This page is an advertisement for the classic romance simulation game Say If, known internationally as Classmates. The layout features prominent character artwork, including a striking illustration of a main heroine looking pensively towards the summer sky. Scattered across the page are photos depicting various scenes from the game, like an intimate moment between characters, cheerful friends posing, a classroom setting, and a group photo of students. The text highlights the game's theme, stating that an unforgettable summer begins from August 10th, which is the starting point of the story within the game. It invites players to create their own memories during this summer with the characters. The advertisement clearly announces the Sega Saturn release date as August 9th and the price at 7,800 yen, excluding tax. Published by NEC Interchannel and licensed by ELF, Say If is a well-regarded title in the romance simulation genre.